Howdy, folks. Hope y'all are doing well this evening. And today we're taking a look at Habitual Linecrosser's latest video, the LASSO tank. I will be sure to link both the video and his page in the description down below. And let's see what he's talking about on this one.
Okay, everyone, here's more alien stuff. Wait. Now, hold on now. Ain't nowhere in here it says my Uncle Jeff was probed. You know?
Oh, man. Of course it's going to be Florida talking about this. Love you, Florida. Stay weird.
Not releasing everything, Uncle Sam. That's because there's no proof. Your Uncle Jeff just got blackout and ended up out in the Everglades.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I guess that was my favorite Christmas ever.
Look, I hate to be that guy, Uncle Sam, but quite frankly, nobody cares. You could walk a live alien out on the White House lawn and be like, look, here's an alien. Not like the snow Mexicans or the Mexican Mexicans, but like an alien, from like another planet. And we just wouldn't care unless that alien came out holding the unredacted Epstein files. That's literally all we want.
Yeah, that's true. It's honestly kind of shameful that the UK has held one of their own to account for the Epstein debacle, and disturbing that we have not. And one of the few criticisms that I've had of the Trump administration is that the Epstein files were not handled well. They just weren't. I'm sorry, they weren't. And there's a lot of people on that list that need to be fed to Mr. Chippy here.
Buff is right. It's no longer Republican, Democrat, Independent, Liberal, Conservative, any of that. It's the politicians who are and are not on the Epstein list. And unfortunately, the ones that are in both political parties. So they're doing everything they can to protect themselves and their homies.
Yeah.
I think at this point, just make it all publicly known.
Chippy's the only one that I'm actually okay with getting an intercept before me. But don't wait in line. I mean, unless, of course, like, some of those kitty diddlers are, like, flying around in planes, then dips.
yeah, that's another thing. Like I said this in the last Habitual Linecrosser video. Air Force, what's going on? I mean, I get it. We're very capable. Well, very careful about where we let our F-22 go because it's so far ahead of the competition. I get that, and I know. It's really, really important that we have all the information on our enemy stuff without them having any information on our stuff. But come on, man. Like, I mean, the F-35 is putting in work. The F-18 put in work in Iran. The B-2, the B-1, the B-52. Like, everyone's getting action except for the F-22. And I get it. He's an air superiority jet. But yeah, I want to see the F-22 finally get an intercept. It's long past due. That honestly, back in what was it, like the late 2000s, early 2010s, I think it was, when that F-22 pilot told those two Iranian F-4s, "You should go home now," and they did. Maybe that pilot should have just let him up. Just saying.
I got nothing. God, our country's so fucked. Glad to see you finally admit it, America.
No. We have known the country has been fucked up. People on both sides have been saying that shit for a long time. Now, the big difference, at least in my personal opinion, is that one side is doing a significantly more amount of shooting and killing of their opposition than the other. Hint, it's not Republicans that's doing the shooting.
No. This is an internal conversation. The Brits don't get to talk any shit. You have your own fucking problems, okay? Like, you talk shit about your own problems to your own people, and we do the same thing over here. We got our own shit going on. I swear to God, I'll come over there and slap your damn typhoon so hard the canards fall off.
Yeah, 1776 was a thing. That did happen. In my opinion, that means the UK lost their right to criticize America forever. We are our country, they are their country, and by the way, I am glad to see like that the Overton window as a whole is almost universally shifting right. That's a good thing, I think. Um, well, because most folks on the right are um, they. I think most of us want the political violence to stop. We want, of course, we want America's enemies to either capitulate to us or to simply not be existent anymore. I mean, if that means that we overthrow their government, then, or if that means that we apprehend their leadership, as in the case of Maduro, whatever it takes. The United Kingdom is so much worse off than the United States. Now, full disclosure, I'm an American. Honestly, I probably have no real right to speak on their politics, the same as they have no way to speak on our politics. However, when you have grooming gangs and gangs that just go around raping women and little girls in your country, and your politicians are running defense for the predators, you have a fundamental problem. So far worse, so much more worse, in my opinion, than most of what's going on here in America. Yes, there's the Epstein files. Yes, every single person who is implicated and found guilty in that investigation, they deserve to serve serious prison time, in my opinion. Honestly, if anyone is ever found to have taken sexual advantage of a child, they should just be fed feet first into Mr. Chippy. Those people are subhuman. I'm sorry. We should dehumanize those people. And if you don't like what I'm saying, I'm sorry. I don't care. I do not care.
He just said he was gonna slap the gay out of one of your planes.
Come on, mate. That's fucking ridiculous, eh? Canards are not gay.
The first symptom of canards is a severe pounding sensation in your butthole.
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44. Guys, Nina just...
Apologies for the commercial.
Enough. I mean, there is some good news from the government. I mean, they just voted that, like, some senators are going to withhold their own pay when there's another government shutdown, which is wild. Did not see this one coming.
I really hope this becomes a trend. Yes, absolutely. If there's a government shutdown, you do not need to be paid. You are either a senator or a member of the House of Representatives. If there's a shutdown, either partial or full, whichever part of the government is shut down does not deserve to get paid. And that includes the politicians. I'm sorry, if you're going to take pay away from DHS, away from ICE, while they are actively protecting our airports, doing TSA's job because TSA is not getting paid, which, by the way, neither was ICE. And they're over there doing TSA's job because TSA is not showing up to work because they're not getting paid. The only difference, I don't know, because I believe they're both federal entities. So, yeah, I don't really understand that. But absolutely, if there are other government employees that are not getting paid, that needs to include all of the politicians. Until they can agree on a budget and get the government open, they don't deserve to earn a fucking dime.
Like, this is one of those rare W's for, like, American politicians. Like, that's total win there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, when we shut down again inevitably because we're fucking mad at something, let's withhold our pay. But hey, let's not let them Epstein files get out, hey, everybody?
So, I understand that America has a lot going on right now, but the nation of Cuba, we're out of oil and fuel.
Sit tight, Cuba. We'll get to you soon enough, I'm sure.
Would you look at that? I cut off the illegal oil going from Venezuela, probably, over to Cuba, and now they're running out of oil. I'm doing more for world peace.
Yes.
Cuba, I applaud that you've held out this long for, like 60 years. However, your entire hemisphere is controlled by a capitalist, for lack of a better term, empire.
What the fuck? No, UK, that is not what's going on. Okay? Cuba, look at Cuba circa 1930, 1940, okay? Under capitalism, they were thriving. They were a favored vacation spot for a lot of people. All right? Later, they got in bed with the Soviet Union. We got the Cuban Missile Crisis. Of course, that is what triggered the embargo on Cuba. So they can no longer get any sort of trade from America. And from that point on, they were a communist country. Okay? I believe it was Stalin who said during World War II that, quote, America is a country of machines. We would not have won World War II without the use of their machines through Lend-Lease. Literally saying communism only works when it's propped up by capitalism. Okay? You disagree with me? That's fine. We can agree to disagree. But this is coming from the leader of the Soviet Union. And, yeah, I mean, capitalism is self-sustaining. People participate in the economy. They earn a living wage. They pay their taxes. And that's how it works. And everybody benefits from that system. Under communism, the government seizes the means of production, and that does include people. So there's no freedom of speech. You don't have the right to keep and bear arms, because obviously communism is oppressive, and if people were allowed to keep and bear arms in communism, the people would rise up. Just look at what happened with Venezuela when we apprehended Maduro. The Venezuelans celebrated. We went over to Iran, decimated Iran. The Iranian people celebrated, which is why I have said right from the start, the Iranian people should be thought of as completely separate from the IRGC. That is the regime. That is the oppressive government. And by the way, the Iranian people, just like the Venezuelans, also celebrated when we decimated the IRGC. And we're still decimating them. Now we're doing it financially by blockading the Strait of Hormuz and controlling the flow of oil.
We applaud that you've held out this long, but realistically, just cut the ties from communism and all the aggressor nations, and you could probably live in relative prosperity.
Yes!
Yeah, what Beans on Toast said. Don't read too far into it, fucker. This is one of those few times that you get something right. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the quote, Palpatine, do it.
Yeah. And relative prosperity to a capitalist is way different than a communist. Relative prosperity to a capitalist is like affordable food, gas, amenities, different types of things being sent to your country, trade. Relative prosperity for a communist is, well, you get to eat this week.
The Democratic People's Republic of North Korea lives in great prosperity.
Democratic is a fucking laugh and a half, man. Everybody in North Korea just lives under a dictatorship. It's just Kim Jong-un. If he decides he doesn't like what you said about him, you die. It's that simple. And it's probably the worst police state on the planet, probably even worse than China. Like, yeah, China, they're going to watch and see what their people are doing, what their people are saying. There's not as much free speech. I think there's some, but again, not really. It's a communist regime, just the same as North Korea. The only difference, though, is that North Korea is much more strict. They actually want complete control over what their people see. And it's basically just, I believe I said this in the last HLC video that I did. If I remember correctly, I believe they only allow media from Russia, China, and India. All other media, especially media from the West, is banned in North Korea.
You have one fat guy in your country.
Yeah.
He's in charge of it.
Yeah.
Also, before anyone in the comments is like, oh, North Korea is not communist, technically, blah, blah, blah. One of the most prolific communists of the previous generation, Joseph Stalin, put Kim Il-sung in charge of North Korea. Do you think that guy would say, you know what? You should do something different? No. Man, these humans really are so fucking mean to each other, dude. Not even scratching the surface, man. You got to learn about the Crusades, the Dark Ages, and then when they discovered how to split the atom.
Yeah, no, that's that is true. Humans generally are kind of awful to each other. And look, I'm saying this to people on every end of the political spectrum. Even if you disagree, that's fine. Just be kind. Maybe don't call people names, don't call people slurs just because they disagree with you. Look, I don't like, I'll give an example. One of the ones I can't stand the most is Hassan. Calls himself a communist, and yet has made millions under capitalism. Yeah, communism is so great, he's not even living under it. But that's my disagreement with him. And I'm sure he would hate that take and probably disagree with me, and that's okay. I do not wish him any sort of harm or ill will or anything like that. I wouldn't mind seeing him get deplatformed, because it's just generally awful when you call for political violence against your opponents. It just is. I'm sorry. We can't be doing that anymore. And the alien boys here, yeah, they're talking about. These days it's modern compared to how it used to be. The Crusades were just as awful as what we're seeing today with what I would personally view as the Muslim Crusades. You have an influx of people from Muslim countries basically trying to colonize the Western world, because a lot of Muslim communities in the Middle East just hate the West in general. They want to spread the word of Allah by any and all means necessary, and that does include being deceitful. It does include colonizing other countries and somehow establishing seats of political power. That's how we get people like Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib. Again, probably another unpopular opinion. I personally believe that if you're going to run for any office in the United States, whether it's mayor, state representative, governor, president, any office at all, regardless of whether it's political, whether we're talking about the administrative branch, the judicial branch, or the legislative branch, you should have to be an American citizen, meaning born in America, raised as an American. It's insane that we have representatives that have allegiances to countries other than America. If you represent America, your sole representation should be for America.
Although the country that they dropped those things on really has bounced back. America, I know you always tout yourself for building shit. So, BAE Systems here in the United Kingdom is now updating our Mod 1 Stingray torpedo, which is air-launched. We can launch it from your Poseidon, or we can launch it from one of our ships. It's a lightweight, anti-submarine torpedo used for submarine warfare, obviously, and the Mod 2 is supposed to have a significantly longer loiter and wait time. So, sometimes we just be building shit.
Interesting.
Hey, beans on falafel. I'm not going to tell you what you think you know, but let me ask you something about that fancy new torpedo you got. Maybe you didn't see the video when I kick-flipped a fucking Iranian frigate with a Mach 48. Can it do that? Because if it can't, then you're just still second best there.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. One of the many ships that our Navy sunk during the war in Iran was sunk by a torpedo from one of our submarines. It was, if you haven't seen the video, go look it up. It's wild. Torpedoes are fucking terrifying.
Well, no, it doesn't have the yield of the Mark 48, but it's not really designed for that. This is specifically designed to just punch a hole in a submarine.
So a smaller boom is supposed to be more scary? Look, man, I don't think you understand the premise of a dick measuring contest. Like, if I pull out my fucking hog, right? And then all of a sudden, you pull out the thunder thimble, I don't think you will.
But
The thunder thimble. Oh my god. Oh, I love you, Buff. Never change. Never change.
if you could please not refer to the genitalia of my allies, that would be the best thing ever.
Once my engine upgrades hit, I'll consider it. But I will let you know that I'm probably going to decide against that.
Wonderful. And okay, if you want to talk about stuff like that, they're beans on toast. So, there's a company in the U.S. currently designing Rogue One, which is part of the Army's Low Altitude Stalking and Strike Ordnance LASSO program. I had to read it. That's a really interesting acronym. They had to reach for that one.
Rogue One. Are we now living in a galaxy far, far away, folks? Curious.
Let me guess, it's something with a nuke.
What is this, the 1950s? We already proved that we can put nukes in literally everything. I'm not joking. Man-portable shoulder-fired rockets, artillery, anti-ship rockets, torpedoes. Seriously, aside from a landmine, if it exists, we made it nuclear. God.
Yeah, no, Buff was right about that. I remember seeing this video back. This is it was shortly after World War II, I believe, 1950s, 1960s-ish era, where we developed a weapon called the Davy Crockett. It was literally a Jeep-mounted nuclear weapon. They could just roll it up onto the battlefield and yeet it and roll out. It's pretty cool. But thank God that shit did not go into full production, because holy shit.
The 50s were fucking great.
Hate to admit it, but he's right. God,
Yeah.
good times. No, the LASSO program is supposed to be a cheap, lightweight, cost-effective anti-armor loitering system. Basically, shoulder-fired, they fire this thing off, it's man-portable, and it can go up to 12 miles out, which currently our premier missile shoulder-fired anti-tank system is the Javelin, which works really well, but Javelins are pricey. And you still need line of sight, which risks your troops. This thing, you can fire it up there, it'll loiter up to 30 minutes, it can go 12 miles out, fly up to 70 miles an hour in short bursts. And the thermal on it, when you tell it to kill something, is actually gimbaled with the payload. So the payload always delivers in the right direction to create the shape charge to punch through the top armor of an enemy tank.
Okay, so it sounds like this thing is probably... It sounds to me like it's probably going to replace the Javelin, which, by the way, the Javelin is already pretty scary. I mean, yeah, you do have to like actually lock on to the tank itself, but if you happen to have like a ditch or something like that you could fire it from, you can lock on to the ditch, or I mean to the tank that you're targeting, and then take cover, fire it from cover, because it has I believe like a saltwater charge that allows it to launch without giving away a heat signature. It fires off, flies up into a high arc, and then comes down. And the Javelin actually had 2 warheads on it. The first one was just intended to defeat the reactive armor of tanks of the era. I'm curious to know if they're going to have like a similar idea with this one. Like yes, it's gimbaled, so the payload always hits with it hitting the target the way it should. That's pretty cool. But I wonder if it's got any sort of countermeasures for reactive armor. I'm not sure if many of our adversaries' tanks are still using active armor or not, or reactive armor. I mean, but yeah, that's interesting.
I think we might hit some new records with how high we're able to send Russian armor turrets.
Apologies
If
for
you
the
want to
commercial.
test them here, I'll take 3,000, 0% interest for the first 6 months, and then after that, we'll go to 3% interest. I'll consider it. Are you seriously saying that you're going to be testing your new systems on my tanks in Ukraine?
Yeah, what's your problem, commie? Get fucked. Yeah, don't be mad that communism can't build as good of war assets as what capitalism can.
Have we not all been doing that for like the past 4 years? Am I getting punked right now? Come on,
Right.
you had to know. Everyone was sending shit there to kind of see how well it works against the big bad wolf. Why the fuck wouldn't I do that with these?
Yep.
Plus, you could just leave. My objectives in Ukraine are nearly complete. I am considering leaving for right now. But I have not made up my mind yet.
Oh, good lord, man. You said it was going to take 2 weeks for you to handle Ukraine. 4 years later, you're still fucking around with them. You lost, man. Just draw the lines where they are and go back to living in peace. How about that? How about you stop killing people?
Your objectives? What even are your objectives?
Let's see. I made a list. Have 1 million casualties. Check.
Yep.
Become the laughing stock of the first world nations. Check. Realize that you are a complete paper tiger and actually don't have the ability to invade anybody because your logistics infrastructure is worse than McDonald's. Check.
Double check.
Oh, and my personal favorite, this is kind of a new one. Officially, the Russian military is now shrinking because you can't find enough conscripts to replace the ones that are being killed in Ukraine. Holy shit, man.
Go
It's about
figure.
1,000.
You forget, Buff. I still have more nuclear weapons than the Americans do.
Oh, there you go. And then threaten nukes over 50 times.
Yeah.
Check.
Check,
Well,
yeah.
looks like you're all good.
And let's be clear, if Russia actually wanted to try to nuke America, it wouldn't go very well for them. A lot of their stuff is Soviet era. I'm not even sure if they have any sort of modern ICBMs or anything like that. And if they do, I don't know specifically about Russia. I believe it was happening in either China or North Korea or potentially both. And this is another pitfall of communism. Their higher ranking officers were selling off fuel from their ICBMs because they were greedy. Add to that, a lot of those old Soviet era silos, the doors are, from what I've heard, are just rusted shut. They're just not going to open, so it wouldn't do them any good. And the handful of ones that are still in good repair and will actually launch, they probably won't reach America, and even if they do, we have systems to counter those.
I fucking hate you.
Hate, that's such a strong word. I mean, I'm a lover and a fighter. You can ask your mom when I go over there later to stir the paint.
Shut up your mouth.
I'm gonna miss making you say that when you finally leave Ukraine and there's nothing to talk about from your piece of shit failing nation.
Right?
America, you had a man in Denver jump into an aircraft engine? He shouldn't have been standing there.
I did not hear about that. I'll be curious to hear more details on that story. I'm just curious to know if it was a horrific accident or if he was actually suicidal, because that's fucking awful. One thing that a lot of people don't want to talk about, and I don't know why, is the importance of mental health. People, please please take care of yourself. If you feel like you're really depressed about something, seek serious mental help. And but like I was saying, a lot of people don't want to address the fact that the top three demographics of people who are most likely to self-delete is transgenders, men, and I forget what the last one is, but anyway, the worst of those by far. Oh well, military, of course. PTSD is a big problem with the military, but they a lot of self deletions are men, and it's because men in the modern day have a lot of responsibility, a lot of weight on their shoulders. They have to be the providers. They have to be, supportive of their spouse, and there's just so much that falls on men's shoulders, and a lot of spaces that that traditionally were considered man-centric are really not there anymore. There's not really a whole lot of safe spaces for men, and it has sadly created an epidemic of mental illness among a lot of men. So yeah, just all this is just to say, again, take care of yourself. If you feel down, or if you feel like you're seriously thinking about self-deleting, seek help, please. Nobody wants to see that happen to you.
Please tell me he yelled something funny like, "I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is the ground beef."
It's not funny. He was dealing with loss from his family.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it was funny, but that the kid said that, but it's not funny. Just like I was saying, it's serious shit, and family loss. Yeah, I could see that being a serious factor. There's I believe it's in psychology, there's this, I don't remember exactly what they call it, but it's basically a rating scale of 1 to 100, where 1 is being the lowest amount of stress, 100 being the highest stress. Loss of a spouse is the highest. It is a 100. And to be fair, there are stresses that can occur with happy events like weddings, for example, and those are pretty high stress as well. But the whole idea behind the concept is to just to be aware of the level of stress that you are enduring, and basically just to take care of yourself.
Your airport should be more secure. Look, guys, I read the whole story about how he lost his dad and kind of went through a mental break, and then this whole thing happened. Realistically, the blame for this lies on no one but the individual. Like, I get it, flying sucks in general. I personally have experienced delays and fucking cancellations and some of the worst experiences when flying, but this ain't really on the airline. This is on the dude.
Yes.
I got a bit of a problem. Venezuela is leading towards communism, and, well, not in my hemisphere, especially after I saved you from Madudu.
Seriously, I thought the Venezuelans were turning over a new leaf. Why the hell would they push for more communism? I shouldn't. I'm not trying to go after the Venezuelans here, because I know they were happy to see Maduro gone. But come on, Venezuela. Seriously? Do you want more corruption in your government? Don't vote in another communist. Don't do that.
Maybe. We should probably make Venezuela our 51st state.
Well, on the plus side there, at least he stopped talking about Alberta.
You're still on the chopping block there, Popsicle Beaner.
What did he say?
What did he say?
Oh, shit. Oh, new slur unlocked.
First of all, no. Second of all, I don't know if he's trolling at this point. He did say that perhaps we should make Venezuela the 51st state. That's a real thing. That's a real quote that I read. I don't know if he's fucking with us at this point. I have no clue.
And that is kind of part of, Trump's whole thing. Like, he's a colossal troll, and a lot of times it's hilarious to watch. I'm not sure about Venezuela as a 51st state. I don't know. Like, maybe a territory, just, let them govern themselves. But I don't know about, and I had the same apprehension about Alberta, and I know a lot of Canadians didn't want Alberta to become part of America. So I don't know. I really don't know how to feel about it.
Hey, Winnie the Communist. I'm gonna be coming on over there here soon, and I think we could have a good meeting between me and what you guys call him, Xi Jinping.
Yeah, I believe in the first Habitual Linecrosser video that I reacted to, I said something about Kim Jong-un being referred to as, Winnie the Pooh, and that getting a video, blocked over there. I was wrong. That was not Kim Jong-un. It was Xi Jinping.
That's Xi Ching. I don't know. You're president. Our president believes that there is great economic, that's the word, success from the United States and the great China working together.
Yeah, well, it's also, a lot of it is that China doesn't have a whole lot of options right now. See, before they were backing Iran, propping up Iran. Well, now a lot of the oil that China and Russia were getting was coming from Iran and Venezuela. Well, now that America controls that oil, China doesn't have a whole lot of choice. And so now, in order to basically keep their economy from collapsing, keep their economy stable. I mean, not that it would collapse. I don't know if that's really accurate to say. But basically, we eliminated their options, and now we are their only option. And they're not happy about it, but they don't really have a choice. And based.
Don't need to be enemies.
Yeah, except literally every time we turn around, it's you trying to pay somebody for our secrets, but neither here nor there.
Yeah, and also this is another thing that I think should not be a thing. China actually owns land in America. What the fuck? Why should any other foreign power, except for, of course, a consulate, own any land on our nation? At least if it's a consulate, we can say, oh, it's a diplomatic thing. But they own a lot of American land, and most of it is not for democratic purposes. Democratic. That's not the word. What was I saying? It's, in other words, it's not for consulates. It's not for diplomatic. That's the word. It's not for diplomatic purposes. That should not be a thing. We need to cut down on that. And I would even say, if we can, buy back the land from China. I just think they have way too much influence in our government. Ironically, a lot of people think that Israel controls America. That's not how that works.
They're a big exporter. We're a big importer. I think that this could really work out well for both of us if we can come to common ground. Yes, I believe so, America. We can work together. I just want us on the same page when it comes to Taiwan being a part of China, because they are ethnically Chinese and should be a member of the Chinese Communist Party.
That's not going to happen. I really don't think that's going to happen. I know Taiwan does not want that to happen, and I highly doubt, Trump would ever agree to that.
Oh, and we were so close to a deal. That's probably not going to happen. You realize, America, because of all the munitions you've wasted in the Middle East fighting against Iran, that if we make a move on Taiwan, we are in a better position than you are right now with your current munition stock.
No, that's not how that works. We have shitloads of munitions. We have munitions that are sitting around in museums that we could just take and weaponize again. America is nowhere near low. Yes, we did use a lot of munitions, and it does take time to rebuild our stockpiles. That is true, but that doesn't mean that we don't have reserves. There are orders going to Poland and Ukraine that are just going to take time for us to fulfill them because we have to make sure that our own stockpiles are not running low.
And it could lead, potentially, to conflict between the Great China and the United States.
Fuck around and find
Don't
out.
threaten me with a good time, you squinty-eyed fuck.
Yeah, actually, oh God, if China and America actually got involved in any sort of war, the kid would get all he could eat interceptions. I promise you, he would be fucking up all their J planes.
He beat me to it. Oh, I'm so fucking proud of that kid.
Yeah.
You must be reasonable, America.
I'm reasonable, but I do have certain non-negotiables. And I don't take no shit, at least for this administration. There are good and bad with every administration, but it's good to see our adversaries kind of afraid of who knocks in the night. It's good.
Yep.
Yeah, the other night, there was a deer on 2 legs that knocked on the hangar door. I was kind of nervous. Franklin's like, oh, it's just a skinwalker. He put him in a rear naked choke, knocked him unconscious. And I was doing experiments. Sometimes the little dude scares me.
There
Right.
are still attacks happening in Iran. Americans' word means nothing.
I'm pretty sure those are not American attacks. And if he's talking about the ships that we've hit, we literally told them, hey, we're blockading the strait. Do not go through. And they still went through. So we hit them. That's the only time we're hitting ships. And we're not even sinking ships anymore. We're basically just leaving them dead in the water. I mean, that was the case with the ship that we hit last week. I believe it was an F-18. Trick shot at a fucking rudder on one of those ships. It was pretty incredible. But anyway.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We agreed to a ceasefire. Me and you.
Yep.
It was not my fault that when we went loud with each other, you bombed every single one of your neighbors, and now they're pissed off. So the
Yep.
UAE and Saudi Arabia, that's on you, man. You think we were going to sit idly by and let you attack our infrastructure?
Iran right now. No. Wait. They are finding out, man. The IRGC is fucking done. Let's go.
If you had stayed just with American targets, I would not have problem. But no, you want to attack the Crown Prince of Saudi. I thought we agreed, America. We didn't want this to turn into a regional conflict. This was just you and Israel doing you and Israel things.
Okay, but America has no control over that. It's not our fault that Iran started bombing all of their neighbors. That's not our fault. And it's not our fight. And now the people of Iran have the backing of the Saudis and UAE in order to topple the regime. And when you combine that with the fact that they're not making money off of their oil, and the fact that they're basically financially completely broke and have absolutely no out, no safe place that they can go to, they're shitting their pants. They're fucking done.
God, man, you were with us in the Middle East for 20 years. You know this is how it works. All the Muslim nations are super friendly with one another until one of them gets weakened, and then boom, they eat their wounded.
I mean, yeah, he's not wrong about that. But anyway, that was the video, guys. And thanks again for watching. I appreciate you guys more than words can say. Thank you so much. Again, I will drop the links to both this video and Habitual Linecrosser's page. Go show him some love. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.